people seem to be pretty pissed and disappointed about the ending of Drew McIntyre's reign as Mr. Money in the Bank. So he won the Money in the Bank ladder match. He cashed in the same night, made it a triple threat match to try to win back his World Heavyweight Championship. And then, the biggest hater towards Drew McIntyre of all time, CM Punk, decided to show up. He was hiding under the ring for hours, apparently, and cost Drew McIntyre the belt. He successfully cost Drew McIntyre 2 chances, not 1, but 2 chances at the World Heavyweight Championship in the span of a month. That is some next level hating, and you gotta love it. You just gotta love it. I think this was the right choice. I really think that this was 100% the right choice, and I don't think there was another way to go with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, here, let me explain. I think that this, obviously, it furthers Drew McIntyre versus Punk. This feud is going to be legendary. This feud is going to be phenomenal. The amount of the promos we're going to get, the match we're going to get, it has to go like no holds barred right off the bat. Like, I can't see just a regular match to start off. Like, any type of match would be dope to start off, whatever. But I need there to be like a big stipulation to start off this match because the amount of build towards it has been insane. This is 3 times Punk's costing the belt, and this is 2 in the last month. Like, give me something that you're throwing weapons at each other. Anyways, it also reintroduces Punk versus Rollins. This was very much hinted at Survivor Series last year. It was going to be the plan at WrestleMania until that deviated. So it made the audience care again about Punk versus Seth Rollins. And we're going to 100% get that match in the future. We could get a triple threat. We could see a triple threat at SummerSlam, which would be cool. That'd be cool. Like, I'd be down for that. I want to see Drew versus Punk more. But that's just because the hating is insane. And I want to save Punk versus Rollins for maybe next year's WrestleMania. Who knows? I mean, who knows what's going on with John Cena either. But I like this opens up more doors than, sure. I'm sure. People are talking about this could have elevated talent. It could have. It 100% could have. But I gotta ask. I have to ask. Do you really see any Mr. Money in the Bank, if they won for this year's cycle, cashing in on either Gunther or Cody Rhodes? I don't see a single Mr. Money in the Bank cashing in on any of them and successfully winning. So when people are saying this could have elevated newer talent, I'm thinking none of them would have successfully cashed in on either of the two. Because once Gunther wins, he's not losing it till at least Mania. Cody, he could lose maybe to like a Randy Orton or something, but I see him doing like a flip-flop title thing really quick. I can see that. But I don't see Cody really losing the belt for a long period of time until well after next year's Mania, unless it's to Roman or The Rock, but that, who knows? It's a lot of storytelling right there. But there's not a single younger talent on the roster that could have realistically won the Money in the Bank briefcase and cashed in successfully on either of the two. In a perfect world, I'd say Ilya Dragunov or Carmelo Hayes. In a perfect world, I would say those two, because they're going to be the faces of the company in the future. But they're not. This just isn't the year. This is just not the year. Ilya versus Gunther's probably happening at Mania anyways, so that solves that problem. Carmelo Hayes, he just needs more character work. And then you look at who was in the actual ladder match. You got LA Knight. He's already got a feud set up with Logan Paul. He was at Logan Paul's house. That feud is already there for the United States Championship, so LA Knight is going to be busy with that feud, which he'll beat Logan Paul for at SummerSlam in Cleveland Browns Stadium. Then you got Chad Gable. Yeah, Chad Gable would have been a cool Mr. Money in the Bank, I'm not going to lie. He 100% would have. But he's got his thing going right now with the Wyatts. He's already got a feud that's going on there. And just having the Money in the Bank briefcase, again, I wouldn't want to see Gable lose to either Gunther or Cody. It would just be a stupid, unsuccessful cash-in. So again, Gable's not there. Jay, yeah, I could have seen if he won the briefcase. I'm not gonna lie, I could have seen that, but I just don't. You can't convince me Jay would. He wouldn't have a long title reign. He would have it for maybe a month, maybe. He would be a transitional champion, and at the same time, is that really much better? Is that much better than losing it than not even winning the belt? Like, sure, you get to say you were world champion, but this is helping further a story with Drew, Punk, and Seth Rollins. Jay, he's already going to be in the main bloodline. He's going to get brought back in to help take down the new bloodline with Roman, and probably it's going to be Jimmy, Jay, and Roman. So he's already going to be involved in the bloodline story. So there is no use for him having the Money in the Bank briefcase. Andrade, I just don't see him as a champion. I really don't see him as a WWE or World Heavyweight Champion. He would have just lost to either Gunther or Cody. I thought this pay-per-view was great. Now, okay, here's my thing. If people want to be pissed at this pay-per-view, be pissed off Braun Breaker lost clean to Sami Zayn. Now, that is some bullshit. He should have not lost clean. There should have been some shenanigans if you were going to have Sami retain. But Braun Breaker should have 100% won. He should have won in a squash match. I really thought that match was going to last maybe 10 minutes because I thought Braun Breaker was going to kill him. I thought Braun Breaker was going to dismantle, just humiliate Sami Zayn, and he would have walked into SummerSlam as the Intercontinental Champion. And I thought that would have been a good stepping stone for what dominant Braun Breaker will be in the future. That's what people should be pissed off about. Not at this Drew McIntyre thing. I think this, like, if you watched the post show, Drew McIntyre was saying, "I know where you live, Punk." Like, I have not been this. I mean, Roman versus the Bloodline, Roman, Raw, Cody, that match I was really looking forward to. This match I am really looking forward to as well. Like, they just keep hooking me in with these big matches, and this is the match I'm looking forward to. They still got me with the possibility of The Rock versus Roman soon. I want to see Cody versus Roman 2 or 3. I want to see Cody versus Roman 3. Cody versus Solo. There's, again, shenanigans are going to happen. Cody, like, WWE's up right now. People are saying this is a bad booking decision. I don't think it was a bad booking decision at all to have Drew McIntyre win the Money in the Bank briefcase, cash it in, and not win successfully. I thought it was obvious. I personally thought it was obvious coming into this pay-per-view. Not others apparently didn't think so. So, yeah. I really like how this pay-per-view went. Before I end this video, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, that was insane. Like, that was a great match. It was probably the second best match of the year, I'd say, right behind right behind Roman versus Cody. That is by far match of the year. But this women's ladder match was probably number 2. The men's ladder match wasn't bad either, but the women's was better. By far, the women's was better. So, yeah. I thought it was a great pay-per-view. I don't get the hate towards Drew McIntyre being Mr. Money in the Bank and losing it. And people were saying that he was the worst Mr. Money in the Bank of all time. No, we had Baron Corbin. We had Otis. And there's one other person I'm forgetting that was pretty bad as well. Austin Theory was terrible. Like, I just don't think the Money in the Bank briefcase would have been successfully cashed in at all this year. So why not give it to further a storyline that already has heat, that just made the heat go inferno. So I can't wait. This is going to be great. Drew McIntyre, Punk, Rollins, they're going to cook. They're going to cook. This was the right booking decision. You just got to trust in the process. This is Talladega. And just be patient and signing out. Laters.